Alright guys, welcome back. So we have a Husqvarna. This is a 2021 TE 150, the fuel injected bike, also oil injected. I wasn't really going to film it, but why not? So what happened is between the oil tank and the oil pump, there's this little rubber grommet. And this is a used bike. It's only got 200 miles on it, and that's kind of disappointing. But you come in, Braxton, and the lighting is off the floor, so sorry, the reflection there. So what happened is this little boot sits up in here, and you're probably not going to be able to see it. It sits between the pump and the tank, and it kept leaking because every night when I'd bring the bike in, you would see oil would run all the way down the bike onto the floor. So what we're doing right now is I just drained the oil out of the tank. I thought originally I was just going to do it really quick, slide it off, put the new one up in, but the oil, it's so hot out today, the oil was pouring out of the bike. So I came up with this really cool way to try to get all the oil out of there and into my catch tank down below without spilling a ton of it. And now I'm going to take an oil absorbent rag that I've got on the counter conveniently, and a lot of the oil is drained, so I'm going to try to just replace it with this now because we're down to just a little drip up in there. And so if I go like this, we'll go this way and just set this right in there. So I've got the front clamp off. It was pretty darn easy to get off. The back clamp though is going to be a bear. Maybe that white rag makes it easier to see what we're doing up in there. It's kind of a tight little space that we're working up in there. So let me show you what the front clamp looked like. So I bought both new clamps. So there's the new clamp. That's the front one, the littler one. So that's super easy. I just pushed it off with a pair of like a screwdriver. The back clamp though is way trickier. It's like the normal upgraded, you pinch it with the pliers type clamp. And so it might be harder to get that one off. I was hoping if I just take like a long screwdriver, if I could slide it down. So let's see how well this slides down. So maybe move the camera back just a little bit and get this up in there. I heard it. So we're gonna have to try to get that clamp undone off of there. Obviously, if you had more room, it'd be super easy. Oh, we already got it, Braxton. Check that out. Now it's gonna slide right off. Look at that. Look how easy that was. The hard part now is gonna be, so let's look at the bottom of this. You'll see, look at that right there. That's where the oil is, it's all dry rotted already, brand new. And I can tell there's like a problem with these because there were so many options available online to buy these used or aftermarket. So the trickiest part of this whole job is gonna be crimping our new clamp. I was hoping I can get the pliers up in there. Let me clean that a little bit better around it. So if you are curious at home, there is a little bit of a lip on the bottom of that oil tank, so it's not just like a smooth, it's not just easy just to pry off. So let me grab some clamps and we'll go from there. So we've got the new one ready, and we've got our new clamp. And the way that I got the old clamp off was it was positioned kind of like this. And I just took a flathead screwdriver and I pried it up in there. And I got it past the knurls on the inside of that clamp. And we've got this to us is like a CV boot. So from here, you can see on this side of the tool, I'll just pinch it like that and make it nice and tight once we get it up in. The only problem is there's not like, I wish that tank was like half an inch lower so I could get these in there a little bit straighter. But the first thing I'm gonna do is try to slide this assembly up in there, but it is super tight. I'm gonna do it without the clamp, so I can slide the clamp on in a second. So if I have no visibility of what's going on. Did it already go on? Holy smokes. It's already on there. So now it's turned toward me. Let's get our clamp set up on next. We'll keep it like the same direction that the old one was. And before I tighten that clamp, I want to make sure it's like perfectly angled at the oil pump. So I probably should get the bottom clamp on first. So this one might be the trickier one. These pliers are going to work better. They're more of a flathead there. As long as they're long enough. There we go. Whoa. Oh my gosh, I found it. It's right here. It is shot up above, hit the handguard, and went bouncing off the bike. So there. Now it's like perfectly pinched. We'll slide it onto the hose. And it's back far enough so it's not where I need it. Let's go here. It's a tricky little spot with one hand in a slippery part. So let me get the big clamp out of the way so you can see what I just did. So I'll hold the clamp out of the way with the screwdriver. If you can see up in there, I now have our booty, I'll call it a boot, back up in there, and it's on the oil pump. That way we know it's exactly the direction it needs to be, and I can slide this little clamp now. I'll use the pliers, and I'll get the front clamp on. That way I feel like we're getting something done. So we'll get the smaller clamp on first, and then we'll crimp the bigger one down too. Okay, that clamp is on. So it's really hard to get this tool on that clamp because it's just loose falling around in there. So I'm taking that pick tool, I'm gonna hold on to it to kind of like put pressure on it to keep it in that orientation. And hopefully that'll let me grab it with our tool here. It's hard to do with one hand. And we got it though. So now we got control of that clamp. We can rotate it up into its spot. I'll pinch this thing down. All right, so we got it. So if you look up in there, it's really hard to see what's going on. If you look right there, we got our new clamp on the top and our new clamp on the bottom there. So we got it replaced, and the last thing we have to do is just dump our oil back in the bike. So if you guys have a Husqvarna TE 150 and you guys need to replace it, it's actually, you can do it in the bike. We just did it. You just need a couple small tools, a pick tool, pair of pliers, clamp tool, and a long screwdriver. So thanks for watching.